Okay, let's get ready for our meeting, please. Microphones.
All right, it's 6:30. We'll go ahead and call to order the Public Safety Committee meeting for July 8th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Mensch.
Here.
Garfield. DeWitt.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Peterson. Pence.
Here.
Bro.
Here.
Rolfs.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
7 present, 2 absent.
Public comment. Seeing none, we'll move on to Eric with the auxiliary report.
Happy July, everybody. So, last month, last week, we had our monthly meeting early. Everybody attended but one. We got vacations and what have you. We did not have any emergency calls, so I guess that's a good thing as usual. So at that time at our last meeting, we did prepare all the officers for the upcoming 4th of July parade. We had been given a sheet that shows what intersections needed to be taken care of, which ones were barricaded, and which ones we had full-time officers at, and the parade route. Unfortunately, none of that was actually correct for whatever reason, but nevertheless, I've been doing this enough years, I was actually able to get everything handled and taken care of without a hitch. Got a great crew with me, so it all worked. Also, we had discussions of the Watseka Family Festival. There has been a sheet up for signing up the auxiliaries to handle monitoring some of that during that, so we've got those guys going up. Also, our Sergeant Johnson, he's going to be holding a training seminar. It's called Stop the Bleed. It's pretty much just how it sounds. It's if you have somebody with an injury that's an accident, what have you, and if somebody's bleeding very rapidly, they have this training that everybody can take. And of course, everybody here, as well as all the first responders, will be invited. This is not just to be announced by me, but by multiple other facilities as well. It is certifiable, so it's not just some, hey, come and check this out. It is you do receive a certificate if you do pass, so it's a great thing. Anything else I have really is going to be for the next agenda. There's not really much to discuss as far as that's concerned here, so I did adjourn the meeting. Is there anything anybody had for me?
Thanks for being there. Appreciate you guys being there.
Thanks. Thanks.
All right, next we'll move on to Fire Department.
All right. So we had 51 responses in June. 50% of that was EMS, which is no surprise. And you can see the breakdown there in the report of the other calls. Training for June was, we did the boat operations, try to get the boats out, keep them running, and make sure they're ready. Hose advancement, drafting, and then pump operations. And then we have nothing really to report on personnel or equipment issues. And the only other thing is we did 5 smoke detector inspections of homes and installed about 30 smoke detectors in all those. And then we've had a couple pool fillings, but that is about all.
The smoke detectors is only for like renters or like all the homes that they want?
We just do them for homeowners.
For homeowners?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So like, do the fire department hand them out, or like, how does that work?
So typically they'll call us and we can come in and we will install them for them.
Okay.
And then we'll give them some pamphlets and we'll educate about the smoke detectors. But if they're capable of installing them themselves, then we'll just give them the detectors, and then we just have a document that we fill out so that we can report that back to the state, because those detectors are all on a program where we get 25 at a time through the state fire marshal's office, and so we can just refill those.
Okay, so they just need to call the fire department and then they'll come on out. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
and we can
Thank
schedule
you.
anything. Absolutely.
Anybody else? Got any questions?
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Chief Starkey. Oh, I skipped over Nida. Let's let Nida go. I always skip her.
That was accidental.
Reason behind that.
Of course, it was accidental.
Mm-hmm. Always accidental. Just want to let you know that Chief Starkey, that sounds really weird, Eric, sorry. reached out to me about 2 or 3 weeks ago and thought we needed a lateral list. We presently have what I call a new hire list, and those people are the ones that have not been trained. And so we're in the process of actually getting a lateral list to be able to, by August 1st, I believe is the due date on that. And then at the end of August, we'll be doing interviews if anybody applies. And then we'll be having a lateral list that will be posted. And from those lists, it gives Chief Starkey to choose from either list. Obviously, lateral is cheaper because those people have already been through PTI compared to if the new hire list. And so that's presently what the police commission. So like I said, we'll be meeting next month to do the interviews and then make a list. And then it'll be up to him to hire. Because I believe there's one position from the chief deputy position that still needs to be filled. Any questions? Thank you.
Now we'll move on to Chief Starkey.
Kind of like the fire department, not a whole lot this month. Calls for service, 379 total calls for the month. That's up 22 calls from May. Traffic stops, 80. It's up 23 from May, so that was good to see. 32 bookings for the month, $832. That was up 16 from May. So again, I kind of touched on that at the last meeting about the state's attorney's office asking that we go away from the NTAs and take people to jail. So that's what we did. That's kind of where we ended the month there. New squad was put in service last week, so that was good to see. I was happy to get into the parade and get everybody a look at it. Training, we conducted active shooter and close quarter combat training at the high school a few weeks ago. I felt that went very well. Coordinated that with the high school principal and the superintendent. Again, we've several of the guys have never even been into the high school before, so we felt that it was necessary for them to not only go through the school itself and kind of get an understanding of the layout of the school, but just to work on some of those things that hopefully we never have to use, but ultimately to be prepared in the event that it's necessary. So that was good. Hopefully we can arrange some future trains at Glen Raymond and maybe even some of the other larger businesses in the area, just to again, more so than anything, just to kind of have a understanding the layout and lay of the land. So NIDA just touched on it, the lateral application that's been put out there. Deadline is August 1st. So we'll kind of see what kind of response we get from that, and hopefully we can at least have a good list of couple people to choose from there. So miscellaneous wise, I don't have anything. So unless you have any questions, that's all I got for the month.
I have something. Are the new tasers deployed now?
We have not received them yet. I saw the purchase order come through for them, so we paid for them, but we have not actually seen them.
Oh, okay.
And then once they do come, they will send a representative from Axon that will come, and we have to do some training with them before we can actually put them out there. But I think that's already kind of all been scheduled, and my understanding is the tasers should be here any day, so hopefully within the next month we should have them. So.
Anybody else? All right.
Thanks for your report.
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, gonna call the meeting of code enforcement to order. Can I please have a roll call, please?
Burrow,
Yes.
Rolfs.
Here.
Pence,
Yes.
Peterson, Miller,
Here.
DeWitt,
Here.
Bench,
Here.
Garfield, Mayor.
Here.
7 present, 2 absent.
Okay. Is there any public comment? Okay, no public comment at this time. I'm gonna turn it over to Eric Brandt.
Thank you, Nick. Council. IDNR flood mitigation Not a lot to report on this month. No new contracts, no demolitions in line. One thing I did want to bring up is we're at 78 properties now. Currently, these are only being mowed. Some have been adopted out. You know, I think council should think about what they're going to do for the future with these properties. There could be more done than just mowing grass out there. Some ideas. I talked to Ron Davis at IDNR, and he gave me a big thick booklet, and I can print that out for you guys with projects all over the country.
That'd be
Mitigation projects, buyouts. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that to give you some ideas, you know, and just to talk through it. Alternative to the mowings, you know, you want to try to make them into a attraction.
Sure.
You're not going to get away from maintenance. We had talked about wildflowers in the past. Even if you do wildflowers, they're still maintenance. They've got to be mowed at least once a year or burned off. You know, something's got to be done. But memorials were another option. Art, parks, obviously. And parks could be as simple as just a walk path, you know, with maybe mulch. You know, we've got plenty of mulch, a walk path with mulch and maybe a bench. And then again, wildflower. So, you know, I will print that out for you. It's pretty hefty booklet, but you guys, you know, there's some photos in there and some things to think about. You know, I think with that many properties, you know, and they're the city's liability forever now. I mean, you know, if we can make some sort of a low-cost open space attraction out of them, it would be an asset.
Eric, do you know how many properties you have left? Or is that
Approximately
or is that
30.
or is that never ending?
No, there's an end. But on the IDNR list, approximately 30.
Okay.
Any other questions? So next up is facade grant 123 North 8th and Victor Torres. And Victor's here tonight, and you want to address the council and your building? And Victor, in his application, he put South 8th. It is North 8th, 123 North 8th.
Thanks,
all right.
No, you're fine.
We know where it is.
So I'm Victor Torres. I'm the new owner of the building of Chick Tech Vision Care. Since I've had it in my possession, I've been remodeling the inside of it. Been talking to Eric, making sure I got the right permits for it, for everything I'm doing on the inside. And then I know I briefly told them that if I needed a permit to paint the outside, and that's when they kind of told me the grant, you know, which is great. What I'm looking to do in that building, I have a significant amount of a large collection of arcade machines, you know, stuff that we've all grew up or heard at one point in time, like Frogger, Galaga, Miss Pac-Man, those kind of things. I'm looking to bring that into the building there, have an open concept, and then open it to the public in the next couple of months and have something with private parties and for kids and something for the community, something different that I can add to it. So, but since he told me about the grant money, that'll be something terrific to add and kind of give it a little nice little touch to that building as well that's needed. So
It's a great idea, great
Thank
concept,
you.
I think.
Awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So his grant application is for painting of the building. He's not sure of the color yet. He just put on there neutral tone color. So,
Okay.
I don't know if we need a vote on that
Yep,
tonight.
need a vote.
All right. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay. We have
for
vote.
this 483672. Is that what we're?
Right,
Correct.
yes.
Okay. Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
That'll be submitted after the work's done.
Yeah.
Correct.
Or
Miller,
he'll be paid after it's done. Go ahead,
Miller?
sorry.
Miller,
Aye.
DeWitt,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Pence,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Bro.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Roll call carried.
Thank you. Thank you, Victor. Thank you for coming.
Thank you,
tonight.
Victor.
I think you're our first applicant that showed up to the meeting.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a good thing then.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
You.
Next up is 400 North Jefferson. I put this on here. I get questioned about this building a lot. I've been working on it for quite a while. We went through the warnings and then went to a citation. Since the citation's been issued, it's been up here at municipal court for now, I believe, 14 months. I give everyone a copy of the letter that was requested by the contract purchaser of the building. And he was questioning me on why I was requiring an engineer for the structural roof repair on the building. So I pretty much outlined that in there. It's a bow-type truss roof that the building has not been maintained in quite a few years, so there's a lot of rot. There's some broken truss members up in there, and there's even some, at least one portion of one truss that has been removed. And you can see that in the one photo, you know, where the large dip in the roof is. So the contract buyer, you know, he's telling me that, well, he's having trouble finding an engineer, and he's given me several different reasons why he can't have one. But, you know, I'm sticking to it because I feel like the roof is a liability on the building. I had given him a roof permit initially. He has done a lot of work to the building, painting, replaced rotten wood over the windows and doors. He's put a new overhead door on. But the roof is the issue. In addition to the parking lot, needs to be repaved in areas. But right now, the roof is a big issue, and I gave him a roofing permit initially. He did some work, and what the work he did was not really too good. Some of the shingles had already blown off. And then he started doing some shingling here recently, and I did a stop work order on the project. So he had no permit. So I just want to bring everybody up to date on what was happening with that building. Next up is 221 West Hickory.
Oh dear.
We cleaned this up. We had Public Works clean this up on Wednesday, July the 2nd. Chief Starkey and Officer Mark were both there. This has been an ongoing problem as long as I've worked here. He'll clean up a little bit and then stops and it gets worse. I didn't get a good before picture, but I got a good after picture. There's, you can see the burn pile there. I mean, that's pretty typical. There's always a mattress or furniture or whatever laying out there in the yard. The RV that was there, you know, that was there for 6 or 8 months, I believe. He did remove that on his own, you know, so he does some things, but never seems to keep it up to par. We had a total of 9 garbage cans were on that property, and they were all full.
Eric, have we ever cleaned that up before?
No.
What was cleaned up was just what he had done in the past here, hit and
Correct.
miss.
I can remember one time where it was 100% cleaned up. They dug a big hole in the backyard and buried what they couldn't burn or haul away, and it was clean, but it was for a short period of time. Any questions on 221?
So what are we trying to achieve? Get rid of it?
To get him in compliance.
Okay.
So is like
He shows up here at municipal court sometimes, sometimes not. He was here last month, and you know, I was there in the morning, and that RV was still there, and he showed up here at municipal court, and he says the RV's gone. I said, well, geez, it was still there this morning, but it was gone. He got rid of it. Where it went, I don't know, and as long as it's not in Watseka, it's fine.
so
Attorney Kankar has been contacted about this property, and we are gonna take some action on it soon. That's all I can
mean,
tell you.
This has been going on for years,
Well,
As long as I've worked here.
yeah.
it's gonna end.
And they've had a couple of drug raids over there and stuff
Yeah.
like that at different times, and it's just not only debris around the house, it's all facets of the,
So we are gonna take action against it soon. That's all I can tell you right now, until we get more details.
Yamei, did you have a question?
yes. So like what we're gonna do is we're gonna give them a notice saying that you need to get this like removed, And then, like, within what timeline? And then if they don't do it, what are we gonna do about it?
So you see the copy of the notice.
Yeah.
That was given to him several times. It's always 10 days. If he doesn't clean it up, typically, we write a fine, write a citation.
And how many times have you done that?
10 that
10
I have
times.
done. I know code enforcement before me was working on the same property, so
He never pays the fine, I would imagine.
correct.
And then what do we do about it? If he doesn't pay the
So, you know, the advice is then you could go to foreclosure.
Okay. So I think right now, we're in the process of like probably getting close to the foreclosure, right?
Correct.
Okay. So let's do that. Okay.
Any more? Okay, the next one up, 526 East Locust. You know, I get a lot of grief from folks that I'm just picking on a individual. This was a unsafe structure. It's a garage that was falling in, block wall garage, and the roof was collapsing. You know, and I had talked to the homeowners, and it's got to be cleaned up. You got to do something, repair it or demolish it. They demolished it on their own last year, a year ago. But then, you know, they got rid of all the wood debris, but then all the block remained. So I revisited them about 3 weeks ago. And again, you know, it's the pushback that they don't have the money and et cetera, et cetera. But you know what? He called me up. He says, I got a dumpster coming, and he cleaned it up. So once in a while we have a positive thing. And then, you know, it's not on my agenda, but these just came up after my agenda was made last week. 128 East Ash. I think you guys are familiar with this. It's on the corner of Ash and 4th. It's been vacant forever. It's in poor condition. I had cited the owner. He's out of state. He paid the fine, and he says, could he have until July? And he was going to start working on the house. Well, boy, lo and behold, I come back Monday morning, went by the house, and again, there was the garage was on the ground. So, and it didn't fall down on its own, although it was close to it. So, and then I'm going to bring one more up. This kind of came up to the forefront, I think, over social media over the winter. 429 North 3rd. Again, that's right on the alley. It's been a mess since I've started working here. It is cleaned up 100%, outside of maybe a television is laying out next to the street. But it is cleaned up.
All right.
So, moving on into some old business, and I get asked about these pretty regularly. The 1213 and 1215 Sugar Creek Court, that's the two modular type structures on the west side of the Route 24 bridge out there. I give everybody a copy of the Attorney Kankar's answer to the question of what's going on with those, where are we at. So on those two structures, he's got a motion for default scheduled for court on July 17th. So hopefully after July 17th, we'll be able to demolish those two structures.
All right.
And Lauren, Public Works, has went out there and knocked down some of the weeds and brush and got it looking a little bit nicer. Again, that was cleaned up last winter. And then 901 North Chicago, the complaint's been filed with that, so it's in the process. Lastly, 209 East Walnut. So there's been some interest by the neighboring property owner. He owns the building on the corner of 4th and Walnut. He's talking about adding an outside stairway, which is needed. There's probably at least six to eight apartments on the upper floor of that building. They do have two means of egress now. One is on 4th Street, and then one is on the interior and then out the back door, but they really need something more with those apartments upstairs. So they feel with an exterior stairway, they could use that extra lot that the city has owned, that the city owns, if the city would be interested in selling that. One thing I did mention to them as a condition is You know, the city did a beautiful job of cleaning up all of those properties. They were pretty well blighted. Painted the wall of that property owner's building where the building we tore down abutted. You know, I think they should do some cleanup on their wall. And I did put them on notice about they've got some loose electrical and that needs to be tidied up as well. But, you know, if you're interested in selling the lot, I would ask that you put that condition on there that they clean up their wall. And they have been offered the facade assistance also to help out with that.
Now, the lot is just in the red area here, is that correct?
Correct.
So it's a kind of odd shape.
And I attached your, the purchase price of the lot, you know, was 12.7. And then the demolition, that 32.4, that was for all 4 properties. So, you know, the demolition of that building, 8 to 10 maybe, you know, so you got 20 maybe into that little lot. But, you know, you guys can sell it for whatever you want to sell it for. If you want to sell it.
Do we have a motion or anybody's thoughts?
Eric's got some things there that he would like to see the guy do. I agree with that. Does he need the whole 25 feet? I mean, is he
That
gonna
aligns,
mow what's
that
left?
that aligns with their lot that they own behind that. If you see the little, there's a lot behind it that's got basically the same shape as the lot they want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And that aligns with the property line.
Just concerned how well it's gonna be taken care of. We went through a lot of effort to clean it up.
That's, I agree, and that's what I'm asking. The condition is, you know, their portion of that wall. I believe should
type
be
of
part of the
stairway or
condition of the sale, that the wall needs to be straightened up and cleaned up before, they take possession of that
What
lot.
type of stairway are they building?
Pardon?
What type of stairway will they be building?
They're just, from the upper floor there.
Metal?
They haven't,
Wood.
they haven't said.
Are they gonna, is that property gonna be fenced? Or just,
They haven't mentioned fencing, no.
no?
I just didn't know if people start using that as their front door in the future.
Parking is an issue, you know. I know we've had some problems with people driving across the other empty lots, and you had Public Works put up those concrete barriers, and I think that solved that problem.
That and a parking block out front where the driveway used to be.
You know, I have a little trouble with the dumpster overflowing once in a while, but they're always responsive. They always take care of it.
And see, I'd like to see us sell it. I mean, we're not in the real estate business, get rid of it, but I'm like these guys, I want to make sure the guy's going to take care of it, not just let it go to,
Surely we could have that written up.
yeah, you fix that wall like you said, and then I'd be more than willing to
That
sell it.
property's cut up anyway, so
Yeah.
anybody that's gonna buy the rest of that, you know, is not really gonna want that
Right,
piece.
and what are we ever going to do with it?
Yeah,
You know, the city's never going to use
I
it for
mean,
anything.
if it got really bad, we force them to put a fence up, you know, privacy fence.
One less place to mow.
Now you talking about the rest of that building, is that, you talking about the back wall and everything, the present building and
I would just like to see the east wall.
the
The
east wall?
back wall is another property owner.
Okay, well,
The south wall is another property owner.
the east wall is what
East wall, yeah.
what you see from the highway.
Right.
Right.
And there's
The
a
whole
lot of
east wall
stuff
needs
on
to
it
be
and-
cleaned up,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, yes, the first 20, 25 feet, the city painted and stuff, that made a big difference.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice if we get the rest of it taken care of.
I agree.
Sounds like
agree.
we have a little bit of leverage right now.
Yeah, I would agree with Charlie. That lot's cut up, and we don't need it. We just put stipulations into it when we sell it.
Have him fix the wall first and tell him we'll sell him the lot. Right? Fix his
Yeah, I mean,
wall.
that'd be a good,
that's
a
a
show
good
of good
value.
faith.
You fix your
right.
wall and make it
Show
look
of good
nice,
faith.
and we'll be more than happy to give it to you as far as I'm concerned. What do we want with it? One less place to mow.
Well, be nice to recover some money, but
Yeah, I know I'm
That's
just
not-
being sarcastic, but
yeah,
I mean, we don't have to ask for a fortune. Just
no.
in the long run, we're money ahead to get rid of it. We don't have to mow it.
Right.
The way I look at it, I don't know.
So you're suggesting that may we come to an agreement on a price? If he gets it
That's what I would.
fixed up?
That's what I would do. You fix that wall up, come talk to us, and we'll work out a deal. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a,
he puts a little good faith into fixing up his building, and we'll put a little good faith into selling the lot.
Special price.
Yeah, on sale.
It's a small lot, it's cut up, it's not full depth like the,
Right.
Yeah, and like
The
I
other-
say, we're
the
never. You
other
know as
four
well as I
lots.
do, the city's never going to use it. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why keep it? As far as I'm concerned, the minute we can sell, we can sell.
Right.
so I'll talk to the owners and, we'll sell them the lot on the condition that they repair their wall first.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. That's, all I have.
You probably want some engineering on the steps first, don't you?
Some engineering? I want a good set of plans, yeah. Yeah, I don't want the
we
rickety
went
set of
through that.
steps like we have on the
Well,
building behind
the
there.
steps will have to be up to code, there's no question. I mean, so,
But you'd like to see a drawing first,
Correct.
okay, before we release the land to him?
Yep.
Because we went through
Before I
that
before I give them a permit.
well, he's gotta have, yeah, he's gonna have to have plans before he gives him permit anyway, so.
Okay, we got a plan.
Okay, any other questions, comments?
I got a letter from Kathy on a couple properties down by me. Thank God it's not my address, but, I'll stop in and talk to you two about it in the next couple days, so.
Anybody else?
There is a property over on East Grant that we talked about several months ago. He started tearing an old house down and had a lot of stuff there. Looks like he's cleaned it up some, but there's still a big pile sitting in the, looks like where the old garage was maybe or something, of concrete and everything. And
Yeah, there was an attached garage. I'll talk to him.
I
He
mean,
made, he made,
I
he
hope
made good
that's going
progress there in
sometime.
a short period of time.
I just have one thing here. Everybody was given a copy of the budget.
Oh yeah.
Now's the time to talk about it because we have to pass this in 2 weeks. It has to be approved in the full council this month in 2 weeks. So if we have questions about it, now's the time to talk about it. Any issues? Yays, nays? Any thoughts? Anything we need to address? Let's address it so that we can get this thing passed. I know it's, 60 pages or 40 pages, I guess. But everybody should have given a chance to take a look at it with some time. I know Mark's not here and Jeff's not here, but
so those are the numbers coming in, right?
yeah, the column,
On the very right.
on the very right are the 2025 numbers that are budgeted, what was budgeted in '24, and then what's budgeted in '25,
Okay.
and then what we're requesting for '26. So everything to the far right is what is being requested as a budget.
So it
For the
looks
new
a little
budget.
bit, looks a little bit more than before, which,
It is in the black. We've had several people do the initial work on it, myself. Terry worked on it. Jeff Peterson worked on it. Don did some work on it. So there's more than just me that worked on it this time.
any highlight you needed to let us know?
What little I worked with them on, the departments heads, they were pretty well right at budget. We really didn't have any major increases. Lauren had some, the water pump issues and stuff like that that we have already been talking about.
Okay.
We had to kind of forecast that in. Eric was right spot on with his stuff.
I think, who is the one that requested the report? Was that Mark?
Mark,
Yeah. So make sure that he's good on the same page as us.
I mean, we have another meeting yet.
Well, this is in his box.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. We can still talk about it next week in finance.
Yeah,
And one more time, so I just wanted to run it past you.
yeah.
Uh, So let's talk about it in finance one more time. I just want to make sure to give you guys a heads up.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about it in finance next week, and then after that, we'll do a final approval on it.
Okay.
That's all I had.
All right. Anybody else? Need a motion to adjourn? Need a second?
So move.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
But she had the office, so she said she'd get back to me.
Pardon me? Yeah, that's right.